Hi everyone, welcome back to a new Mr. Organic recipe video. Today I'm sharing a recipe for some gooey cookie dough based brownies. First, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. If using dark chocolate, roughly chop a 100 gram bar into small chunks and set those aside in a bowl. Make the cookie dough layer first by adding half a cup of vegan butter to a small pan over a low to medium heat and slowly melt it down. Add in 1 cup of light brown sugar next and stir to combine until the sugar has melted. Then pour in 3/4 cup of oat milk and add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and stir through well. Remove that from the heat and leave it to cool completely. In a large mixing bowl, add 1.5 cups of sifted plain flour, then 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and lightly whisk them together until combined. Make a well in the centre and pour in the cooled wet mixture, then stir to combine, using a whisk if necessary, but being careful not to overmix. Sprinkle in the chocolate chunks or chocolate chips and fold them in using a spatula. Take a square 8" by 8" baking tin and line it with baking paper along the bottom and up the sides. Then pour the cookie dough mixture into the lined baking tin. Spread it out evenly and place it in the fridge to set. For the brownie batter next, melt 1/3 cup of vegan butter in a small pan over a low to medium heat, and once melted, add in 1/2 cup of brown sugar and stir to combine until the sugar has melted. Then pour in 1/2 cup of oat milk. Next, take a jar of Mr. Organic's dairy-free organic chocolate and hazelnut spread and add half of the jar into the pan and stir to combine. Remove from the heat and allow to cool. In a large mixing bowl, combine 1 cup of sifted plain flour, 1/4 cup of sifted cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt together with a whisk. Make a well in the centre, then pour in the cooled wet chocolate mixture and stir to combine, using a whisk if necessary, but being careful not to overmix. Pour the brownie batter over the cookie dough layer and even it out using a spatula. Place the cookie dough based brownies in the oven to bake for 22 to 27 minutes. If removing at the earlier time, it should still have a slight wobble to it, which will set once cool. And a toothpick inserted into the centre of the brownie should come out not quite clean, with a few crumbs for a gooey texture. Allow for the brownie to cool completely, and once fully cool, place in the fridge to set for 2 to 3 hours for the ultimate gooey texture. Slice it up into 12 even squares when you're ready to serve, and enjoy. These cookie dough based brownies are delectable, combining a gooey cookie dough base with a perfectly baked yet slightly fudgy chocolate brownie. They are such a treat. Mr. Organic's dairy-free chocolate and hazelnut spread is organic and natural. It's also palm oil free and blends rich cocoa with rice creamer and toasted hazelnuts grown in northern Italy, giving this spread a sweet and nutty taste, and therefore makes for the ultimate chewy brownie texture and rich chocolate taste.